welcome to the R is Silent podcast. I am your host, Evan with the Silent R, and today we have another special guest. So we're going to start off with introductions. So tell us your name, your age, your background, what you do for a living, and tell us a little bit more about your store.
My name is Adamski Shepherd. Everyone knows me by Grizz around the city. 27 years old. I'm from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I moved there when I was 8 years old and never looked back. What I do for a living, I'm a young hustler, young entrepreneur. Like to sell clothes, like to get into fashion, like drip and stuff. So definitely what I like to do, you know?
Nice.
That's my thing.
Very good. So tell us a little bit more about your store. And before we do that, can we just do a quick drip check?
All right.
You're wearing some fly gear today. I'm actually wearing a hat from their store.
Yes.
And I got some great Jordans from them a few weeks back. So tell us a little bit about what you're wearing and how people can get a hold of what you're wearing today.
Quick little drip check. I got a little LA Dodgers hat on, two-tone with the brown and the green. I got it matching with the little Dickies trucker shirt, EPTM heavy white t-shirt, EPTM stacker jeans with the all-white cocaínas. You can't go wrong with the all-white cocaínas. You know how that one goes down.
Nice.
Everything.
How much does everything cost?
Roughly, this fit on me right now, just over a little bit, about five.
500.
Yeah, just over five. Yeah. So we're exclusive boutique. We're established in June of 2022. We specialize in men's fashion, sneakers, and exclusive hats. Alongside in our barbershop, our one-stop barbershop, you could do everything here. You could get your hair cut, get fly, and if you're going to the club or you're going on a hot date, you could check around the store, get you a nice little t-shirt, get you some jeans, get you a shoe, something nice for you to go out with. So we're exclusively a one-stop shop, and we're a nice little boutique store.
And how did you get your name? Why did you decide on ShopDNJ? What does the D&J stand for?
The D&Js is for whatever. We let you choose what it is. You know what I mean? It's dripping Jordans. You know what I'm saying? We could go Dunks and J's, anything you want to spice it up with. But D&Js, you know what I'm saying? We let the people choose what they really want to put us out for. But, you know, that's what we go for.
So how did you get started in this journey? Did you decide, with a group of your friends to just open up a store, work on your own, or, how did you decide on this type of retail and apparel for men's fashion?
So to be honest, we went to New York and we went to this little exclusive boutique in New York. And when we walked in, to be honest, we were like, this is sick. Like,
okay.
Like we need to do this in Toronto. You know what I mean? Like we need to bring this kind of like energy into Toronto, because when we walked in, the energy we felt, we wanted to like bring that there. You know what I'm trying to say? Like when you go into the mall nowadays, you kind of just go in, touch little things, and you just like, you're not really messing with it. You know what I'm saying? If you have to get something, you'll get it. But when we walked in there, we're like, yo, they had everything. So like, we wanted to make sure we brought that kind of style back to Toronto and kind of just globalize it over here. You know, we want to make sure it's a big thing. We want to let everyone know who's in a small city or a small area that you could have access to exclusive drip and a nice boutique around your way, you know?
Nice.
Yeah.
And what was your thinking around the design of the space? Because when you walk in, you instantly catch baller vibes, cool vibes, even the art that's on the wall. So what was the vision when you were thinking before you got into this space? And you've been in this space, I think, for a few years now. What was the vision that you had for what your store would look like?
To be honest, we're very inspired by like Young Dolph, Nipsey Hussle, independent people who want to like get it out the mud. You know what I'm saying? So we look at our wall. We have a wall right there. We have our Hall of Fame. We have PRE on the wall. We have G Unit. We have Dipset. We have Nipsey Hussle on the wall. Independent. Like we want to like establish that you could start from anything from like the bottom and build an empire. You know what I mean? So that's definitely what inspired us, is just trying to bring that kind of vibe and that kind of culture over to this side. Like, because in America, there's like, to be honest, there's like 100,000 of these stores.
Oh, wow.
But like, we put it like this. When you come to Canada, there's only one. You know, you walk in, you get that family love. You get that warmth. You feel like you're not coming to just spend money. You're coming to like catch a vibe, catch an experience, you
even get a haircut.
I
love that.
I mean, one-stop shop. That's what we want to put it at. Shout out our barbers, Big Mike. Shout out Flash. Check out our page, StyleDNJs. If you want to get fresh to death, check out our barbers. They'll get you right. Cuts after dark as well.
Nice. So tell us a little bit more about yourself. Tell me a little bit more on your story, your journey, and what led you to decide, you know what, I'm going to be an entrepreneur, forget the 9 to 5. I'm gonna do my own thing full time.
All right. So for me, this one's a little like personal, but I also mix it in with like why it's such a like big push for me. But my mom kind of like had to make a difficult decision when she was young. So for her, like she made that decision, and like a part of that decision that she made was me not being in this picture and like in this world, you know? So a part of me, I always feel like my intuition is very high. So I feel like I'm here for a reason. I'm here for a purpose. I'm here to change that pain that my mom went through, you know, all that struggle that she had to deal with, all that thing she had to deal with. Like, I'm here to be like the generational, like, purpose. Like, I want my next, like, line of kids, my grandkids, everybody to feel like you could come from nothing and make something, you know what I mean? So for me, like, inspiration, it definitely comes from my mom, because she like she works very hard, and she shows me that no matter if you don't have like somebody sturdy in your life, that doesn't mean you can't be sturdy, you know? Because a lot of people lack that kind of like ambition. They feel like their life is over. They feel like they can't get stuff done. They feel like things are too hard for them. And shout out one of my business partners. He always says, nothing is too hard. You always can make things work. You always could try. Even if you fail, it's a learning lesson. It's something that you could grow from. So definitely like inspiration will be like my mom and like my business partners as well, for sure. I'll put them in there.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what was it like growing up? Did you grow up? You said you moved to Canada.
Yeah.
What was it? 8. When you were 8, and then where were you living? What was life like for you in Toronto, adjusting to the new environment? And
so to be honest, from the Caribbean to like Canada is a major difference, because in the Caribbean you're surrounded by just water, land, trees. The local jobs down there is to be like a taxi man, to be like a farmer or something like that. So when I came to Canada, there were so many opportunities. There were so many like different like outlets of like life that it was just like life changing. Like I seen like a whole, like I just seen a whole like art, like a blank paper. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Something like a canvas, if that makes sense. Yeah. There's so many opportunities that you could, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when I came to Canada, I'll never forget it. I was 8 years old. Me and my sisters, we came here on the plane by ourselves. And when I came off the plane, there was a snowstorm outside.
First snowstorm you've ever seen in your life.
Listen, man, I was 8 years old, and I was probably like 4'5", okay? Maybe like 3'8" at that point. And the snow was like up to my hip. When we got off that plane, I was like, what is this? My mom had a jacket that was bigger than me, because she thought I was taller, right? She hadn't seen me a couple years. So when she had the jacket was bigger than me.
Wow.
So I just remember like that experience, like it was just crazy. Like that was the first like, whoa, I'm really in a different like country, a different like culture. And I went to a very like multicultural school.
Where did you go?
I went to North Kipling.
Okay.
Just about 10 minutes away from where we are right now. And to be honest, it was very multicultural, very diverse. A lot of like any culture was at that school, and it kind of like allowed me to see that like everyone's perspective is just different. Like everyone comes from a story, a background, something, you know, and they're all here in Canada trying to like make something of themselves. So to be honest, it's a battle of the bold, because everyone is trying to be something, but only the strong survive. So I had to learn that from here, you know? Yeah.
And what was life like for you after you finished high school? So what did you start with? Did you go to school? Did you start your entrepreneurship right after high school? What was your journey after high school?
To be honest, after high school, it was tough.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Like
just trying to figure out what you wanted to do for a living?
Absolutely. Like after high school, like a lot of people take a year off and they'll say like they want to go back to school and they want to do that. Me personally, I never wanted to go to college. Okay. And if I did want to go to college, I wanted to do culinary school. My mom's a chef. My mom's like, to be honest, I think she's like the best cook I've ever met in my entire life. Gordon Ramsay, you can't ask for my mom. I'm telling you that right now. Shout out Faye's Kitchen. My mom, she goes pretty crazy. She does her thing.
Well, does she have her own restaurant as well?
Yes, my mom has her address. If you want to check out Faye's Kitchen, it's at 1761 Keel Street. You won't be disappointed. Best jerk chicken in town, hands down.
You might have to go check it out.
Definitely. And the curry bod style, the curry bod. So like from that, I kind of wanted to just be a culinary like artist. Like I wanted to like do like all of that, get into it, pastry, from all of that. But then a part of me, like I had like an epiphany, if that makes sense. You know, like I had like a click in my head where it was just like, you're meant to do more. You're meant to do something else. You're meant to be something. You're meant to be like out there, like exposure. Your energy can't just be in a restaurant. Like even if I owned my own restaurant, my energy has to be throughout the whole restaurant.
Yeah.
You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So for me personally, like coming out of high school, it was very like tough. I didn't know what direction to go. So I knew I had to like try something, you know? I would say from 18 to about 23, my ambition was like crazy. Or maybe to like 21. I would try a lot of things. I did a lot of like dumb stuff as well, like unnecessary things that I would say. But it taught me a lot of things. Like it taught me like people. It taught me like just being independent. You know what I mean? So that, like those experiences I will never regret, but those experiences taught me a lot to where I am right now, and to understand business and to understand what it is to be an entrepreneur and someone that's gonna chase something from nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah.
So walk me through the process of how you got started, because I'm sure a lot of guys would like to know, how do I open up my own store? How do I get started? What are the first few things you had to do to get this place running?
So to be honest, at first it was a barbershop.
Okay.
And we were just running a cuts after dark segment. So if you needed your hair cut after 6 p.m., we got it done. Because a lot of times barbershops, they close at like 6, 7 p.m.
Very true.
Maybe on a Friday it's at 8 p.m. But they don't really open late. So we had a after darks program going on where we would cut hair from 6 p.m. to about 12 p.m. And it was pretty good. Everything went well. But then one of our barbers went down, who was our main barber. He went down. He had a little injury. So we kind of had to just go a different route. And what led us to that route was just understanding that we're hustlers. Like we know what that's like, what the city needs. Like I said, we went to New York. We seen that store, and it kind of just, that vision kind of just clicked in our head, and we just never looked back. We went out, we got some gear, we got some shoes. We didn't even really start with much. We probably had like 5-10 shoes in here, a couple hoodies, couple like pants and stuff, like t-shirts and stuff, and we started getting traction. And then we went full in June of last year, 2022, and from there we never looked back. We've been open for about 8 months now. I would say 8-9 months. I don't know the months straight off the top of my head, but been open about 8 months, and we just been running, never stopped, always grew, always kept going even when it was a tough time. So from there it was just the idea, and we just ran with it.
What were some of the biggest challenges that you had?
Biggest challenges is understanding the grind, because a lot of people, like, it's funny because I was watching Kitchen Nightmares, if you know what that is where Gordon Ramsay, and it's a lot of like people who own businesses, but they have no idea what comes with like the turmoil, the whole like talking to people, understanding, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So for us, I would say the biggest challenge was understanding the grind, because we had to figure out who we wanted to reach, who we wanted to capture, who we wanted to come into the store, who we wanted to...
Your target market.
Our target market, you know what I'm trying to say? So pretty much it came with that, and from learning from that, anything else after that was like a ball bouncing off the wall. It was like, oh, this is a problem? No, it's not. Like let's figure it out. Like, you know what I mean? So me and the team, we always sit down. We also try to face those hard challenges as best as possible.
So we're going to get started with the question box now. So I've created some custom-made questions just for you. So feel free to go ahead and pick out from the box. You don't have to pick them out one by one. You can randomize this, shuffle it through however you like.
Question from right here now. Question. It says, if you could design a custom basketball jersey for your business, what would it look like and what would you want on it? So we're going to go white jersey.
Okay.
We're big on like red around here, but like, you know, I probably throw in like the old Pistons color where it's like the red with the blue. Okay. So we'd have like...
So white, red, and blue.
Yeah, we'd have like DNJs on the front right here.
Let's get it.
But in red and an outline in blue. And then we'll have the 22 because we were established in June of 2022. So we'd have 22 there. And then, the back would say DNJs as well with 22. And then we'll have like a little tag right here that says step into the culture because that's our little slogan. You know, we want everybody to step into the culture and feel like welcomed into this type of like fashion, because we don't want you to feel like things are out of reach for you, you know? So we would have step into the culture right here at the bottom with our little tag, and then DNJ is at the front, 22, and I'll go white, red, and blue with red words.
Those are American colors.
Yeah. But I not American colors specifically, not the dark blue. Something like a royal blue.
Royal blue.
Yeah, something like your shoe almost, but around the red. What's that movie called? Like Mike?
Yeah.
You know the red and the blue from that one?
Yes.
Yeah, that blue. I'll throw that blue in there with the white and make something like popping for the summer.
That's lit. Maybe you should get going on making that jersey, man. Might be your top seller after this video. Okay. Lit.
Stay tuned. We always drop in hot stuff. We're always putting you on your toes. We always want you to feel like you gotta come get it, because we're gonna have it.
It's like Jordans every time it's coming out at Foot Locker. Going in the line to wait for some J's.
D&J just had the freshest drop. Gotta go get it before it's sold out, because you know we like to keep it exclusive. We like to have sizes, but we don't want to have everything. We don't want to have like
you want exclusive, right?
Yeah, because when you wear it, we want you to feel like nobody's wearing this hat. Nobody's wearing this pants, these shirts, you know. So stay tuned for the D&J's drip. It's gonna be fly for sure. For sure.
Let's get into the next one. Here we go.
So boom. If you could have any superpower to help you run your business, what would it be and why? So I would go with telekinesis, because with telekinesis you could stay ahead, right? So in business,
what do you mean by stay ahead?
In business, you always want to stay ahead, because if you're behind, you feel like you're chasing something.
Okay.
But when you're ahead, you never have. It's always like being prepared, you know. Like a basketball player, like they don't like their game is at 7:30, but they don't just lace up and go play at 7:30. They're there from 2:00. They're you know what I'm saying. They're practicing. They're getting ready. So for me, it'll be like telekinesis, because I'd want to know what the people want. So if I know what they want, I could provide it. And if they know like, oh, I need this, that, the third, like boom, I could provide that. I know you needed it. This is the place where you could come get it. So I would say like telekinesis, because I would want to like know what like people want. Oh yeah, you know. So that would be a big thing, because again, like you would never be out of business. For sure. Once you know everybody what they want, once you know what people like, you know what I'm saying, are itching for, the next biggest gear, the next whatever the case may be, and you have it. What's stopping you from getting them in here but yourself and being open? Try to keep going.
Yeah, keep going. Keep going.
Right, I'm gonna try to get a juicy one. How did my upbringing how did your upbringing shape your aspirations and goals for the future? Like I was touching on before, just like I just wanted to be like the first person in my family to change like a lot of things, you know, a lot of things emotionally, a lot of like
what specifically?
Like not too personal, but I'll say like my family wasn't too in tune with emotions, so they focused on working.
Is that like common in the Caribbean culture?
Yes.
Okay.
Like to me personally, I wouldn't just say it's my family, it's a lot of people's family, you know? So that inspiration is just like getting yourself to not focus only on working.
Yeah.
Because teaching your kids responsibilities and just telling them they have to work is not enough, I feel like, in this modern day age. You know what I mean? You have to know how to react from a loss.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have to know how to also want something other than working for somebody else. Because what's stopping you from having somebody, not to say they're working for you, same exact results as those big companies. What's stopping you from doing that? You have to be able to try. And if you don't try, then you're always going to be in the mud, just sinking until you're like 60 and you're like, I worked my whole life and now I'm miserable. Yeah. And you know what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of Caribbean parents, they work so much, and then by the time they're like ready to just relax, it's just like nonstop, like saying like how much I worked and how much I put into this and how much you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I don't want to be that to my kids. I don't want to have that kind of like end story where it's like, you know how hard I worked for you to get this? It's like, no, I want to be able to show you that it was hard, but there's steps to get there that are easy for you to get there. You know what I mean? So for me personally, it was like I said, like understanding the grind. Like the inspiration is just coming from nothing and starting something. So that would be my inspiration. It's just coming from the islands, not knowing what this world is. All I know is just breadfruit and, you know, saltfish and all these things and farming. You know, I used to have my uncle on the farm a lot. So I was just thinking like that would be, you know, my lifestyle. My grandpa was like a policeman. So there's things that there's like a code that I feel like people stick to. and they get stuck to that. But for us, it's like, you could do more. You could try. You could still work a 9 to 5 and be an entrepreneur.
For sure.
What's stopping you from going to your 9 to 5 and then after that clocking in another 6-7 hours on your own business?
Yeah.
That's gonna stop you. Now that's gonna take you from that 9 to 5. Now you have more hours.
Yeah. I agree.
Right?
I agree 100%. Because
So,
I'm doing that right now too.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do this podcast thing. I treat it like a business. You know,
Yeah,
it's a
for
really
sure.
important thing for me. But I do want to ask you really quickly. So where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Like, where do you see this business growing and even your own individual journey in the next 5 years?
Okay, so with the business, I would say I definitely want to have more stores.
Okay.
I want to have, like, not even just like we as like the business, you know, me and the brand, we want to have like more stores. We want to have DNJs and the vibe and the culture everywhere. You know, none of it, Yellowknife, you name it. We want to be all over Canada. We want to be global. We want to be international. We want you to feel like you could get this exclusive drip and still be fly and still, you know what I'm saying? And you're not wearing what everybody else is technically wearing, you know? Yeah. So in the next 5 years, definitely more stores and some artists, man, some celebrities, some, you know what I'm
You'd
saying?
want to work with artists?
Oh, for sure. We have a no cap segment.
Okay.
So we do like we work with rappers in the city, young artists in the city, and anybody in the city that does music.
Yeah.
We have a no cap where we actually do it on this wall, and you could come in and rap your song. And
no cap.
Yeah, man, no cap. Yeah, man.
Okay.
Yeah, man, no cap, man. So if you're a young artist in the city and you wanna showcase your talent, come through, tap in with us. We have a no cap segment. We have cameramen. We could get it all set up for you. Check us out on YouTube so that way you can see what we're working with and you don't think it's just like, you know, a bunch of jives that we're just throwing out there. Yeah. Like, we really get it done. So we had a lot of like young Toronto artists already in the building already. We had like a young artist named Sway Supreme. He came through. We had Fendo Stacks. We had Lindo, Nadia Stone. We had young Tory. There's a lot of like artists that are well known that have themselves established that was here that wanted to do no cap. So nothing is stopping you who's a young artist who's starting right now. That if you got a fire song, if you're a producer, you do your thing, come tap in with us. We'll do a no cap. Check us out. See what it's about.
If you had to pick one artist to collaborate with, maybe a celebrity artist,
right?
Who would that be?
On a no cap?
On a no cap.
I would, like, you know, here right now, RP, it would be Young Dolph.
Young Dolph.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, I'm glad you didn't say Drake.
Nah, man. You know what I'm saying? We you know what I'm saying, Drake? I rock with you, but like, it's you know what I'm saying? It's paper route empire over here. So
nice.
To be honest, it'll definitely be Dolph. And because Dolph is not here, then I'll throw Key Glock in there because I rock with Key Glock like heavy, you know? So Key Glock, check out the store, tap in with the kid. Come check us out, man. ShopDNJs, man. You know what I'm saying? So we want to do dirt on here, man. We want to do any PRE's track, man. Come check us out. You know, for sure.
Right.
For sure. I want to pick something from the bottom or something. Let me see. What's this? How did you overcome any obstacles or setbacks you faced as an entrepreneur, especially as a young black man? I would say like just resilience, you know? You always have to like bet on yourself. That's another thing. Like, you gamble on yourself. You always like, if you like take an L on something, I don't even call it an L. I would say it's a lesson, you know? So if something doesn't go right, or if we just didn't make that many sales, or if the store was dead, or however the case may be, I got to figure out how to make the store lively, you know? Yeah. So I always say like, it's like a tennis player. Like if you're in control of swinging that ball off the wall and you bring it back to you, then you're going to always know how to hit it. You're going to always know how to like bounce back from something. So I would say overcoming setbacks would just be staying down. Like, there's days where it's just dead here.
Oh, yeah.
Right? There's days, and that's like when we first opened, you know. Now we're a little bit more busy. We have a lot of like walk-ins and stuff, but there's days where there's nobody coming for, 5 hours. And we'll have a couple sales. Yes, we would have sales and stuff, but for those 5 hours, we can't just be chilling.
Yep.
We got to figure out how we're going to make these 5 hours matter.
Yeah. So
I would say like that's something that we overcame, was understanding that we're here for a certain amount of time, so we have to make this certain amount of time matter. Sure. So always just stay down, understand the grind, understand what you're going for, and those are things I feel like you'll need to overcome any setbacks in a business. Yeah, and change as well. Like I would say change is another thing.
Like being comfortable with change?
Yeah, being comfortable with change. Like that's definitely something I would say as a business person is like you have to be comfortable with change, because in an instant, like you might need to change up how this looks, or you might need to change what you're actually bringing into the store so that you bring clientele in, because some of the stuff you might have might not be the hottest thing out that they want, you know? So you have to understand change as well, for sure. I would say that.
Did you face any challenges being a young Black man and running your own business? Like, did you experience any setbacks just because of your color?
I wouldn't say at the store per se. Anyone that comes into the store is they just love the vibe. So I would say there hasn't been any like setbacks as people who come in and try to make things like difficult, or make it, make me feel like, oh, I'm a young Black man trying to do something and I can't. I used to do this delivery job, and doing the delivery job, I would go to these big houses, and there's times that I would go to the houses and I would have the neighbors asking if I'm in the right area, right? Wow. And those things to me is like, you see me in a uniform, you see me doing my job, you know what I mean? I had the security guard from the gated community actually pulled up to me and asked me if I was okay, right? Like what I'm doing there, right? And he was actually a Black man as well. I looked at him and I looked at him and I laughed and I said, "Brother, you came here to bother me while I'm working and you're working?"
Wow.
I'm like, "Do you see the difference? We're both working, and you're here trying to make it seem like I'm not. I'm in a big van, I'm doing my deliveries. I'm just doing my job. That's simple as that." And he was just like, "Oh, we just had a complaint and that was it. We just had to make sure everything was fine." And to me, those things and those are like different occasions as well. So like to me, like those things just make me like understand that no matter where you go, there's always going to be somebody looking at you like you don't deserve to be in that position. You know, as an entrepreneur, if you feel like you deserve to be in that position, put yourself in that position, because no one's going to want to put you there. No one's actually going to want to see you there. If you see yourself there, that's how you're going to get there.
Good advice.
Yeah. So next question. So this one says, what advice would you give to other aspiring entrepreneurs who want to start their own business or their own retail store? Okay, so again, I would say definitely, like, if you're going to start anything, you have to stay down. Because even myself, I tried so many different things and I would get good at it and then move on to the next thing. And it's good to be good at everything, but if you're great at one thing, then you can also, and I'm not saying limit yourself, but what I would say is, like, if you're great at one thing, expand on being great. You know what I mean? Because if you're good at something, you could be great at it. And if you're great at something, you could be like superb at like doing it. Like even if it's being a barber, if you start cutting hair for 1 year and you think your fades are not the best, learn how to fade the best. You know what I mean? Because then make your fades a different type of fade. Like introduce and innovate a new fade. You know what I mean? Try to like give the public something that they could see, like a new eye, new perspective. So I would say definitely that. Yeah, just learn from your lessons, you know? Learn from anything that you didn't accomplish. Like it didn't work for you, learn from it. What didn't work for you? Why didn't it work? What time did you put in on it? Did it like to make it work? You know what I mean? So those things I would say like is just understanding your grind, learn from your lessons, like staying down. Those are like that's what sticks with me. Those are my things that I definitely stay with. So yeah, I'll give that advice to those people.
Very good. Last question.
Go. What's the funniest/scariest thing that ever happened to you in Toronto? That is a funny question. Let me think about that. There's a lot of things that happened to me in Toronto. I think I was like 10. I would say I was like around like 9 or 10, and I just moved to Kipling, and I went outside to play basketball, and the courts were occupied. And I always felt like, I don't care how old you are. Like if I'm 9 years old, 10 years old, I play with you. Like it just doesn't matter, you know? Back home, we played netball. So playing basketball here, it was so easy for me to shoot because back home, there's no backboard.
Yeah.
So you had to be
able to shoot it.
So eventually I would actually like get involved with the older kids, because even though I was 9, 10, like I could shoot, I could keep I couldn't dribble well, but I could shoot.
Yeah. So
I remember I came outside to play and I was wearing a red shirt, and the area where I was from was mainly Crips, right?
Oh, shoot.
It's like gang affiliated, right? So I came outside in a red shirt, and I remember like I went on the court and I was shooting, and then someone like booted my ball away. So I was like, "Yo, what's up, bro? Like, what's going on?" So then he was like, "Yo, like you can't be over here in that red shirt, like blah, blah, blah." I'm like, 10 years old.
You don't even know the difference with the color.
I genuinely had no idea like what that even like, you know, meant to me. So to me, I find it funny now, because it's like that person took it so upon themselves to come tell a 10-year-old that you're wearing like a wrong gang color, because like, you know. So I would say like that was probably like, I would say it's funny now, but like I would say it was also scary because I was 10 years old. You have somebody coming to me telling me like, yo, take that color off, or, you know, you can't play, or we're going to beat you up, or whatever the case may be. Like, you don't want to be involved in those things. So I actually went home and I actually changed my shirt.
And then you came back to the ball
and
court?
I came back to the ball court
shoot.
Because if it's one thing I learned, my mom, this is one thing I also say is like, this is good advice for people, is you have to know how to tuck your tail. You know what I'm saying? If you think you're too brave to go do anything, sometimes you're going to get hit so hard that you're going to realize that that is where you need to stand your ground, you know? So you have to know how to tuck your tail, because if I'm 10 years old telling this guy he needs to like F off because I'm wearing a red t-shirt, me personally, like I said, I find it funny now, but like, to me, I'm 10 years old. That's something that's scary for any 10-year-old to hear. Like, yo, you're wearing the wrong color around here, and like, you need to go change that, or if you don't, like, we'll beat you up, or, you know, we'll like bully you, or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I was fresh. I was 2 years into Canada. So you have to understand that it's a little scary moment, but to me now, I just find it a little funny, you know?
Yeah.
I chuckle at it.
I can imagine.
I could definitely say that was a moment for me. That was scary or funny, for sure.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to be here on today's show. Can you give us some final words and maybe plug in some information about your business?
Oh, yeah, for sure. We also have a clothing program going on at DNJ's. We have a clothing collab program going on. We work with young designers in the city. So if you're a young designer that has hot gear, hot, fresh stuff, check us out. Come to the store, show us what you got, and we could work together. We're trying to have your items alongside these high brands, because some of the stuff, to be honest, that people create are way more like fire than like, you know, no offense to like Nike or whoever, but like way more fire than what they have. Yeah. So if you're a young designer in the city and you think your stuff is hot, if you know your stuff is hot, come through, bring it, come check us out, come talk to me. I'm the guy you have to speak to. Grizz, come ask for me, and we'll get it popping, you know, we'll get it going right. We have some young designers already in the store that are getting their exposure. Shout out to Nothing Comes Easy. Shout out to Vibe & Co. Those are our young designers that are coming through in the building. We also have Graffiti. They were our first designers that we worked with. They're a graphic designing company. They make t-shirts on the print. So if you create a t-shirt, they can print it for you. Okay. And
I'm actually looking for someone to do that for me, to create my own shirts for my show.
Man. So check out Graffiti. They're definitely one of the hottest graffiti people in the city to work with. So check them out. So we work with those people, those 3 people, and we're looking to work with more people. So if you're interested or you want to put your designs out there, definitely come through, check us out. And also the no caps. If you're an artist out there, if you are an artist out there and you think you can do it, pop by, bring your no cap through. Come through, do a no cap, listen to your song, get exposed, go crazy. You know what I'm saying? Also, check us out at 21 Kenview Boulevard, Unit 14. That's where we're located. If you want to come through and see the store in person, see all the drip, the gear, see where your boy Grizz gets fly himself, definitely come through. We sell pins for the hats. So if you don't know, got a couple pins on there.
Yeah, they're sick. I've seen a few of them.
Yeah, man. So if you like to design your backpacks, even your hats, however you want it, come through. We have all types of drip for you, and we'll be around for a very long time. So come check out ShopDNJ's. Come make sure you see us and don't miss out. So that's what I'll say.
Do you have any sales going on in the coming months? Or any giveaways or projects? Because we won, me and my wife won the giveaway from your shop.
Right.
So are you having any coming up soon?
So in June, we're actually having our 1-year anniversary.
Oh, nice.
So we have a raffle that we're going to be doing. I don't know what's in the box yet. We're going to create a mystery box.
I'm going to participate for sure.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I'm trying to get some gear.
Definitely. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be June 24th and the 25th of that weekend. So if you're free, matter of fact, not if you're free, get some free time and pull up. We're going to have some food, games. We're going to be doing a lot of things. We're going to probably do tie-dye shoes. I forgot what they call it. Hydro dip. That's what
Hydro dip.
We're going to do hydro dipping.
That's when you take like a white Air Force, put it in, comes out the way you're like, oh, okay, sick.
So we're going to do some hydro dipping. We're also going to have like a party going on, jerseys and caps. So wear your cool fitted, wear your hat, wear a nice little ball jersey, you know, baseball jersey, whatever drip you got with the jerseys and cap. Pull up, get fly, food, music, everything's gonna be great. So come check us out June 24th, June 25th this year. Come check us out.
Amazing.
Yeah.
All right, guys, if you made it this far in the video, please do me a big favor. Help me out by hitting the subscribe button, and we are out.